Hello everyone. Today we're going to look at car insurance. So there are a lot of things to consider when we're talking about car insurance, and we're going to be using a few different tables. So I'm going to go through those tables first, and then we'll do some examples where we use them. So the first table is what's called liability and medical payments. Liability covers the things and the people that you hit. Medical covers your own body. Okay, so liability is divided into bodily and property. Bodily means people, property means things. Please don't get them confused. So in bodily, we have sets of numbers. So it's a number and then slash another number. 25, 50, 100, 200, 25, 25. The first number is how much the insurance company will pay per person. The second number is how much they will pay for all people combined. So if I have something like 2530, and if I hit someone and they're claiming $30,000 worth of damage, that doesn't fall under the 25 per person, so the insurance company will only give you 25,000. If I hit 3 people, each of which claim 20,000, then each person individually is under the 25,000, but collectively is not under the 50,000. So the insurance company would pay out 20,000 to the first person, 20,000 to the second person, but only 10,000 to the third because it has to stay under the 50,000 total. Okay, so you got to make sure that if you hit more than one person, it's being covered under both numbers. So again, the first one is per person. The second one is total for all people. And those numbers are in thousands. So the 15/30 is 15,000, 30,000. Property is some thousands of dollars, 5,000, 10,000, 25,000. And again, that's for the things that you hit. Someone else's car, a fence, a house, a fire hydrant, the things that you hit. Medical, as I said, pays for you, again assuming that you're the one causing the accident. And that's 1,000, 2,500, 5,000, and so on. Just like with the fire insurance, we have the territories. So territory 1, territory 2, territory 3, that just deals with where you live or where you park your car. Okay. The next table, I couldn't fit the whole thing on here, so hopefully you're looking at it in the book. This is driver classification. So this has to do with who is actually driving the car. There are a bunch of different categories down here. There's no young operators, there's young females, there's young males that are married, there are young unmarried males, principal owner or operator, young unmarried males, not principal owner or operator. So you got to make sure that you're looking at the correct type of person. You're going to see for the young people, these DT and no DT. So DT is just driver's training. So did they take driver's ed? Okay. And then once you're past a certain point in age, it doesn't matter anymore. Okay. And then there's how often you drive. So less than 3 miles to work, 3 to 9, 10 miles or more, or your vehicle is being used for business. So you're a door-to-door salesman, or you go to homes and fix their heaters, things that you're using the vehicle for business. Okay, so these numbers aren't dollar amounts. They are what's called a classification number. And what we're going to do is once we find the bodily, the property, the medical dollar amounts, we're going to multiply it by this number. So you'll see it when I go through an actual example. And then the last one is covering your car. So if you cause an accident, again, the things that you hit are covered under property. The thing you used to cause the accident, your car, your truck, your SUV, that is covered under collision insurance. Okay. Comprehensive is things that happen to your car when you're not driving. So if you have your car parked in your driveway and a tree falls on it, that's covered under comprehensive. If your car gets hit by lightning, that's covered under comprehensive. If someone breaks into your car and steals it, that's under comprehensive. Someone breaks into your car and steals your steering wheel, that's covered. If they break into your car and steal your wallet, that is not covered. So comprehensive covers your physical car and the components of your car, but not the things that you then put into your car. Okay. For collision, we have deductibles. So if you notice, there's a $250 deductible, there's a $500 deductible. The deductible only occurs with collision, not with comprehensive. I have a lot of people who get that confused. The deductible means you pay that first. So if you cause an accident and there's $1,000 of damage to your car and you have a $250 deductible, you pay the first $250. The insurance company will pay the rest. Okay? Everything else is the opposite. The insurance company will pay up to whatever it is that you have covered, and then you pay the rest. But with collision, you pay first, and then the insurance company covers the rest. So let's see what this looks like for finding an annual policy. A 24-year-old married man drives to work 6 miles away in his 1-year-old Model F car and lives in Territory 2. He wants $2,550, $50, $2,500 in medical, comprehensive, and a $250 deductible collision insurance. Okay, so it's a lot of information. So we're going to look first at that liability table. And I'm going to assume that you have the whole table out in front of you. I can't keep going back and forth. So make sure that you have it in front of you. So for liability, we're going to look at bodily, which is the first 2 of the 3 we have. So liability, it's the 2 for bodily, so single person, multiple people, and the third number is the property. So for liability, we look up bodily first, $2,550, in Territory 2, and we should be getting $97. Then we go to property, and that third number again is property, so $50,000, Territory 2, we should be getting $101. Then we move on to medical, same table, and for $2,500 we should be getting $66 under Territory 2. So again, make sure, if you need to pause the video, pause it, but make sure you can find those 3 numbers on that table. Okay. Next, we're going to move on to comprehensive and collision. So make sure that you look at that table now. So we're going to go again to Territory 2, and then there is the model class. So we're looking for F, and that is the first model class, A through G. So you got to know your alphabet. And then in each model class, there's an age group. So age group 1 means a brand new car. If I could spell better. 2 means a 1-year-old car. 3 means 2 years. And 4 means 3 or more. Okay, so it's a little confusing. Age group 1 is not a 1-year-old car, it's a brand new car. Age group 2 is a 1-year-old car. Age group 3 is a 2-year-old car. And age group 4 is 3 or older. Okay, so it is a 1-year-old car, so we're looking at age group 2. So model class F, which is between A and G, age group 2, Territory 2, comprehensive, we should be getting 56. We go to collision. Now remember, there are 2 types of collision. There's a $250 deductible, there's a $500 deductible. So the one right next to comprehensive is the $250 deductible, and we should be getting 86. Okay, so again, hopefully you can see where those numbers are coming from. Just be really careful. Again, there's not a whole lot of room for extra credit on these problems. You're either reading the table correctly or you aren't. So practice with the table and make sure you're finding this 56 and this 86. So what we do after this is we find what's called the base premium. So the base premium is just the sum of all these guys. So we add them all up. and we get $406. Okay, and now this is the number that we're going to multiply by the classification number, which corresponds to what we know about the actual driver. So to find the classification, we're looking for a 24-year-old married man. So that is young males married and then age 24. Drives to work 6 miles away. So you're going to move over to where it is 3 to 9 miles. 6 is in between them. And we should be seeing a 1.20. So again, make sure that you can see where that 1.20 is coming from. And then to find the total premium, we multiply the two together, and we get $487.20. So this is for a year. I know some states, including Rhode Island, will only do it for 6 months at a time, but this one is a more generic one, and it's for a whole year. So this would be his annual premium. Okay. Let's try another one. A 37-year-old woman who drives to work 2 miles away in her 5-year-old Model K car and lives in Territory 1. She wants 50-50-50, $1,000 in medical, comprehensive, and a $500 deductible collision insurance. So again, we're going to start with the liability. So go to your liability table. Under body, we want the first two numbers, so 50-50 in Territory 1. We should be getting 88. Property is another 50. Territory 1, we should be getting 87. Medical, 1,000, Territory 1, we should be getting 62. Okay. So again, if you haven't already, pause the video, make sure you can see where those numbers are coming from. Next, we're going to move on to comprehensive and collision. So Model K, that is Model Class 2, J through K. Again, Territory 1. It is a 5-year-old car, so that is age group 4, which is 3 or older. And for comprehensive, we should be getting 54. We want a $500 deductible. So make sure you're looking at the 500 deductible, and we should be getting 86. Okay, so make sure you can see where those are. And then the next part we're going to do is add them all together and get the base premium. So if I add them all up, I should be getting 377. Next is the classification. 37-year-old woman. She is sadly not considered a young female. So she is in the first tier that says no young operators, and then only operator is female, age 30 to 64. So she's in that very top row. She drives to work 2 miles away, so that is the first column, and we should be getting 0.90. Once we have those two, the classification and the total base premium, multiply them together, we get $339.30. Okay, so make sure you can understand the tables. There are quite a few. Some of them are a little small, so make sure if you have it printed out that you use like a piece of paper or a pencil. Make sure you're going down the right line, and just be really careful with it, because like I said before, there's not a whole lot of extra partial credit I can give out for these. So what happens if you cause an accident and you need to use your insurance? Jack has $15-30-25 liability insurance, $1,000 in medical, and a $250 deductible collision insurance. He's driving his car down the road and he hits Rachel's truck. The car has damages totaling $1,500, while the truck has damages of $3,000. Rachel and her son sue Jack for $15,000 each in emotional damages and hospital bills. Jack, however, is fine. How much does his insurance company pay, and what is he responsible for? So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go through what happened and figure out who and what have damages. So I have the car, the truck, Rachel, and her son. So those are going to go in the first column of a table that I'm going to make. So the first column, again, is who or what has damages. Car, truck, Rachel, son, and a total. And then I'm going to have what Jack owes, what the insurance company owes, and the total. So the total is what I'm going to figure out first. And I'm just taking those numbers right from the sentences. So the car was $1,500, the truck was $3,000, Rachel and son were both $15,000. Add them up, and I'm going to make sure that at the end, these two numbers equal my $34,500. Okay? So I'm going to start with the car. The car was driven by Jack, which caused the accident. So that means his car is under collision. Now remember, collision is the only one where the car driver would pay first. So Jack owes $250, and the insurance company will pay the rest. So Jack $250, insurance $1,250. Next is the truck. So the truck was damaged by Jack, and a truck is property, not people. So the truck falls under the property in liability. So the insurance company will pay up to $25,000 in property damage. The truck only had damages of $3,000, so it's covered. And Jack owes nothing for the truck. Rachel and her son are people, so they are covered under bodily. So remember, the insurance company will pay up to $15,000 per person and a total of $30,000. So fortunately for Jack, that is exactly what Rachel and her son are asking for. They're asking for $15,000 each and a total of $30,000. So because of that, the insurance company will pay both of them. They'll pay $15,000 each. They'll pay $30,000 total. So Jack is really lucky. He just has to pay his deductible. So a total for Jack is $250. The insurance company, on the other hand, is forking out $34,250. I add them up, and I do get $34,500, so my answer makes sense. I'm happy, and I can move on. Okay, so it's really important that you know which category each thing falls under. Liability are people and things that you hit. Medical is yourself, again, assuming you're the person who caused the accident. Collision is what you were driving. So let's try another one. Cindy is driving her car and hits Kathy's SUV. The car has damages of $1,400. The SUV has damages of $18,000. Kathy and her two passengers have medical bills of $14,000, $8,000, and $12,000. Cindy herself has a medical bill of $500. During the accident, a pedestrian was hit, and he suffered $20,000 in medical bills. Find how much the insurance company will pay and what Cindy is responsible for if she has $25, $50, $15 liability, $2,500 in medical, and a $500 deductible collision insurance. So again, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a table. We have the car having damages. We have the SUV, Kathy, her two passengers, calling them passenger 1, passenger 2, Cindy, and the pedestrian. I also know all their totals from this paragraph, so I'm going to fill those in as well. Okay, so just make sure that these numbers are matching, again, the numbers in the paragraph. Okay, so that's where you're getting them from. So again, we're going to start with the car. That is Cindy's, who caused the accident. So her car is covered under collision. So she pays the deductible, the insurance pays the rest. So Cindy pays $500, insurance pays the $900 that remains. SUV is property, so it is being covered under the third number from liability. So the SUV has damages of $18,000, but Cindy is only covered for $15,000. So the insurance company will pay the $15,000, Cindy's responsible for the rest, which amounts to $3,000. Kathy, passenger 1 and passenger 2, the people in the SUV, are covered under body because they are people. Again, the insurance company will pay up to $25,000 per person, which each of them is under, and a total of $50,000. So Kathy is covered for for the $14,000. Passenger 1 is covered for $8,000. Notice the total is $22,000, still under the $50,000. Passenger 2 is also covered. And then we move on to Cindy. Cindy has her medical bills, and that's covered under medical. So her medical bill is only $500, so that's covered in the $2,500 that she has. So she owes nothing. Then comes the pedestrian. Pedestrian is also a person, so it's still covered under bodily. $20,000 is under the per person limit. So as long as the total people is still under 50,000, the insurance company will pay it. Unfortunately, if we add up all the people, it is more than 50,000. So the insurance company will pay up to 50,000 total, and Cindy has to pay the rest. So unfortunately, if we added them all up, we'd get 54,000. So the pedestrian is only being covered for 16,000 under the insurance, and Cindy has to pay the remaining 4,000. Okay, so again, all these people is the 50,000. Okay, they won't pay more than that. So that's why Cindy is left with the 4,000. And then we add them up. Cindy owes $7,500, and the insurance company will pay $66,400. Again, you want to double check that the columns and the rows both add up to $73,900, which they do. Okay. So I want you to practice these, both seeing how much the premium will cost and how much they have to pay if they have an accident. So make sure you try both of them out. And let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.